Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Welcome back to the greatest show on the freaking water. Okay, so I've actually started my winter project after a lot of debating consideration. I've actually started my winter project. I'm going to walk you guys through it. I'm actually going to ask you guys' opinion on a few things and kind of a shop update. Okay, I'm going to try to make it fast, but you guys know me. I like jacking my freaking jaws, so stick around. Big B with Ironclad RC. The greatest show on the freaking water. Okay, what am I referring to? What am I referring to? The greatest show on the water. If you know what I'm talking about, throw it in the comments. But I guess I'm about to tell you, so it don't matter. Top fuel drag boat. Okay, that's what I'm building. That's the winter project. A top fuel drag boat. All right. 200-foot tall rooster tails 1-to-1 boats throw 230 plus mile per hour boats. Okay, I had a few subscribers, viewers, talking about Big B. Why do you push your boat so hard? Why are you always trying for a top speed? You're messing your boats up. They're not designed for that. So you know what? I'm designing a freaking boat that is designed for straightaway passes, speed run, drag boat. Okay, I've got it mocked up out of cardboard. All right, it don't look like much, but this is how I come up with my design. I kind of do a cardboard 3D rendering, so whenever I start my boat, I'll have something to refer to. I can actually test pieces and see how the boat's going to look and come out with a 3D cardboard model. I've done it since I started the hobby. I started the hobby building wooden monohull boats. Actually, I'm going to go grab one real quick. So I started the hobby building these type boats right here. I didn't know any better back then. I kind of had a hankering about 6 years ago to build an RC boat. And this was my first boat build. Actually, it was my second. This was my second one. And I used to build them with like thick plywood, and they were heavy. I used brush motor in this guy right here. It was actually my fastest homemade boat. Okay, but I built it out of a like thick plywood. All right, and this thing right here, it would do about 60. It's a stepped hull. You know what I mean? And I did the strakes. I had fun with it, I really had fun with it. But I designed these boats out of cardboard, just like you see this guy right here, so I can get a 3D rendering. And then I would take it apart. I hot glued it so I can heat up the glue, take it apart, and, get my overall first shapes of the boat. And I've actually got to finish a mold for this one. Fast forward 6 years from the time I made these heavy ironclad boats. 6 years from then, we're going to work on this. Okay, top fuel drag boat. All right. Now the 1-to-1 drag boats are pushing about 10,000 horsepower, give or take, running a single motor, a single big block, turbocharged blowers. The whole nine. 10,000 horsepower. Scaled down, this is going to be a 24-inch boat. 24 inches long, 11 inches wide, give or take, okay? It's going to have 2 hatches, one in the back, all right, one up front. Now, the 1-to-1 boats have a little pod that the driver sits in, okay? That if they crash the boat at 200 miles an hour, the pod goes skipping across the water with the driver in it, all right? We're not going to do that. It's going to be a semi-scale boat. I've actually used several different drag boat hull designs for this boat design. Okay, it's not built on one particular boat, it's built on several boats. Okay, so it's not a scale boat, but I want it to look and run like a damn drag boat, okay? All right, they got drag racing RC cars. Why not a freaking drag boat? Why the hell hasn't any manufacturers built a drag boat, mass produced and sold this drag boat? Why not? Okay, now this, like I said, the 1-to-1 boats run a single motor big block. Okay, turbocharged blowers, 10,000 horsepower. With 2 propellers, 1 motor, 2 propellers with a W drive. They use a gear reduction, a 1-to-1 gear reduction type deal. Two two drive shafts. Okay, so what I'm thinking with this 24-inch boat, I'm thinking about using this 1900 kV 4-pole. Okay, single motor, two drive shafts, as you guys can see. Okay, I did like a little rendering here of the boat. All right, I'm gonna walk you guys through what my plans are and a backup plan if this plan doesn't work. Okay, single motor. All right, I'm gonna use 3 pinion gears. I found some on eBay. I found some Mod 1 37 tooth 5mm pinion gears. Okay, all the bigger pinion gears are all 8mm bore. So I'm trying to find a 5mm bore pinion gear. The thing is, with this build, I've got to keep it cost effective. I don't have the money to build this, like, you know, put all the fancy electronics in it, you know, maybe later on, but to get the boat going, it's going to be a hodgepodge. But it's going to be a cheap build. Okay. Budget. So I'm thinking about making an aluminum motor mount with 2 plates with bearings supporting the two drive shafts with the pinion gears, 3 of them. Okay, 1-to-1. Later on, if I wanted to play around with the pinion on the motor, I could make some, the motor adjustable, so I could set the mess around with different teeth, tooth count on my pinion gear. But it's going to be 1-to-1 to start off with. It's going to run 2 counter-rotating propellers. The 1-to-1 boats, I thought they ran a 3-blade prop. That's what I was going to order. I'm glad I didn't freaking order it. I was going to order some 35mm ABC 3-blade props. Okay, but I'm going to have to run. I'm thinking I'm going to have to run a 5mm main shaft. Okay, and once you set this up, the shafts can't be adjusted. That's the bad thing about running a single motor with the gears. Okay, I can't. Once it's in there, it's in there. You can't adjust the angle of the drives. Okay, so that's one downfall to running a single motor. I was thinking about doing a 2-motor, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I really think this is going to be cool. Okay, I think it's going to be neat and one of a kind, semi-scale-ish, keeping along with the theme of the drag boat. I'm going to have to use a 5mm main shaft, okay, and I'm going to probably have to take the main stainless steel shaft to a machine shop, have them machine it down to 3/16 for the propeller. I think that's 4.76mm. Have it machined down, 5mm main shaft with a machined down prop shaft, okay, so I can run 3/16 props. So we got the 5mm with a turned down prop shaft. Another option would be using the 5mm stainless steel gear shaft, okay? Because the gears, the larger Mod 1 gears, accept a 8mm or a 5mm shaft. So go 5mm for the gear shaft with a collet to a .150 flex cable, okay? A little strut under the boat, and a 3/16 prop shaft. Okay, I was also thinking about going 5mm to a 4mm, okay, hard shaft to kind of go with the drag boat theme, hard shaft. Like I said, if you go hard shaft, we won't have any adjustability. If I go full 5mm hard shaft, it would be kind of a pain in the butt. Well, not really, because it wouldn't be locked in. It would just be seated up here in bearings to pull out and grease, So I'm thinking maybe the collet with a flex cable for adjustability may be the best way to go. Y'all let me know. Other than going twin motor, which, like I said, we'll talk about here in a minute. So those are my 2 options. I just find the whole gear, the W drive, gearbox, gear set, like the MRP, old MRP vintage drag boats. They had a gear set like this, and I've always found that fascinating. I think it would be freaking awesome with a brushless power. Okay, really soup it up. Go like 775 or whatever aluminum with the flanged bearing set into it with the shaft. Oh yeah. Jeez, I just thought about this. These are the little things I got to overcome. So this is the main gear for the motor. These are the 2 gears for the drive shafts. And I just freaking thought about this. This is what going probably prevent me from running single motor. Rotation of the main gear is going to be this way. Rotation of the two prop shaft gears are going to be the same. They're going to be opposite rotation of the main gear, which is fine, but they're going to be the same freaking rotation. And I need counter-rotating props, and you have to have counter-rotating drive shafts, you know? So that right there is probably going to hold me up from the single motor. That one thing right there, unless I can figure out a way to overcome it. And I'm not going to put like idler gears in or nothing like that. That would just be way too much work. But that is something to think about, an idler gear in between this guy right here to have this, to make this gear turn opposite direction, but then that's going to throw the gear ratio off. Oh, I just thought about that. The real boats run, like I said, two blade. They run like some of them run a round ear two blade, and I'm sure it's got to be like a low pitch. I guess it's an RC boat, so I can go up and pitch if I want to. But we'll start with like I'm thinking, this is a 24-inch boat. I'm thinking a 35 millimeter prop might be a good starting point. It might be too much prop, but we want it to go fast. We don't want a slow drag boat. Who the hell wants to slow drag anything, you know? So yeah, I'm building steps in my sponsons, okay? And will I ever build a boat? I don't know. Well, I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me show you this. I'll go ahead and show you this because I've actually started the framework, okay? Oh, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm freaking excited, you guys. I'm kind of excited. I'm actually like extremely freaking excited about this build, you guys. Nobody's done it. I've actually seen one RC boat. He had a scale nitro motor, a V8 nitro motor made. It was a scale, 100% scale boat. He had the freaking parachutes on the back and everything, you know, but mine's not going to be that scale. You know, I'm using electric power. I've actually designed it for 4S, all right? It's going to be a 4S boat. We're going to throw it in there like that, okay? Actually mocked it all up out of cardboard. I made my stringers out of cardboard. I got my bulkheads made out of cardboard. Basically, you know, pulled the stringers and bulkheads out of my build, and I traced them out again. Okay, I traced them out again. This is my second cardboard boat. This was my first one, okay? And I refined the shape of my sponsons and everything, my stringers. And this is basically my second rendering. My third rendering. All right, are you guys following me? I'm all over the place because I'm excited. Okay, so I've got all my bulkheads traced out, my transom, okay? All of them. Just in case I mess up, I can reproduce the stringers and bulkheads. So I've got copies of it made. All right. So with this design right here, I only put one step in it, and it's actually going to look just like this in the final rendering. It's going to have a step on the non-trip right here. The boat's not going to run a non-trip on the stern. No non-trip. Don't need it. This boat will never ever do nary freaking oval ever. Okay, it's a straightaway boat, so it don't need non-trips on the back. This rear sponson's going to be much smaller. I just threw that together to see what it looks like. Okay, and this sponson's not going to touch the water. The sponson will never touch the water while it's underway. It's actually, the bottom of this sponson is going to be level with the sump right here. It's not going to be that low. Like I said, I just put that back there to keep the boat held up. Okay, actual boat itself is going to have, okay, so I'm going to tip it up like it was underway. So about like there, okay? So we're actually going to have one made ride surface right here, okay? That step right there is going to be what the boat rides on. This right here is kind of a relief step. All right, you see that back step right there? It's not going to touch the water while it's underway. You guys see that? Okay, and then it goes up. I've got my ride angle, and then it goes up to a step, another step. Okay, you guys see that? This boat's neat. I probably should have put a step right here instead of right here. I should have put this step right there. I may do that, but it's going to be a lot of work, all right? And I think it's going to be really cool. It's going to be a fun build, you know? What I'm really excited about, I'm gonna take this out the way. I'm gonna put this off to the side because I don't want to mess it up. I actually use this light tracer right here, to render all my bulkheads. Let me get this arranged. I'll show you. It's kind of cool how I did it. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see this on camera, but you see how the bottom of my bulkhead right here, I've got it where, you know, this is bulkhead C, my forward bulkhead, and then it's B, and then A is behind it. But you can see how my cabin, how I laid it out so I can see where my cabin's gonna go, okay, and then where my non-trips are, where my non-trips end, you know what I mean? The back one, the middle one, this is the bottom step. That's the back step right there, and then this is the forward bulkhead here. Okay, so you kind of see how I did it. You know, a lot of planning, a lot of cutting, a lot of tracing, a lot of freaking frustrating to get it to where it's at with this final rendering right here. So what I was saying before I got sidetracked with the light tracer is this is pretty cool how I'm going to design this. Okay, you guys see how it's like I got like a little channel design right here. All right, my stringer, and then I got a channel that goes all the way down the boat. I'm gonna make a steep angle here. This is gonna protrude off the front. It's actually gonna be a little bit pointer, like sharper, more of a point. This is, like I said, my 3D rendering, so I kind of know where I'm going. All right, my sponson on this side, check this out. See, I see my stringer right here. This is the top of my stringer. All right, I'm actually making this sponson low profile. Opposed to a full sponson that goes all the way over the top of the stringer. I didn't want it to look like a unlimited hydroplane. You know, I didn't want it to look like an unlimited hydroplane with the sponson covered all the way over the stringer. I went with a lower profile look. You guys see that? And the final rendering will actually be a little bit more low profile than this, maybe 2 more millimeters lower all the way around, okay? And I think it gives it a cool look. The spirit of Texas and those style hulls. Have like it almost looks like they're stringer showing with a low profile sponson that and actually this boat right here is 1.5 inches shorter than the final boat. The final rendering, it's actually going to come out to here. Okay, it's about 1.5 inches longer on the sponson. The sponson's going to be quite a bit longer, so it's actually going to be that much longer. Everything else is the same. Okay, like I said, there's not going to be any non-trips right here. There's going to be a step on the bottom. All right, I used the sonic wake box to do this. And there's going to be 2 hatches. I don't know if I mentioned that. There's going to be a rear hatch and the main hatch that's going to be really bubbleless, real tall, real bubbleless, real defined. Like, you're going to know it's a drag boat. Twin motor. All right, I've actually been doing some consideration and figuring here with this boat hull, the actual boat hull. I was doing all my previous figuring with the cardboard hull, and I thought that this 1900 3674 would be good for the boat, but upon closer inspection, I'm finding out that this 3674 might be a little bit too freaking big. So yeah, I'm kind of rethinking my single motor choice, maybe to this Rocket 2968 D-wind. They have a D-wind 3400 that may work with the twin propeller setup. Okay, 2968. It suits the boat much better. Okay, and I can actually run a big boy battery in here. I'm actually working on bracing and adding some cross bracing for the bulkheads. So whatever motor I do put in it, it's going to be a smaller long can motor. So 4S 5200 max or 4S 3200 or 6S, if I can find a motor that might take 6S that is suitable for this boat, I could run 2200 or 3200 6S in this bad boy. Okay, you got to remember, this boat's only going to be doing straightaway passes, only running for like 5 seconds at a time. So whatever I put in here, I can max it all out with voltage, propeller, everything, because it's a straightaway boat. it ain't doing ovals. So I can max whatever motor out, period. Okay, so that brings me to my twin motor thinking. All right, so this is the question I have for you guys. When I run twin motor, okay, when I run twin motor, twin propellers on any boat, the load gets split in half, right? The load gets split in half for each motor pushing a boat, okay? Am I right? Okay, so if that's the case, all right, if that's the case, and if I can run 2 ESCs off of a single battery, that's another question I have. I don't have any experience with twin motors, so I can run 2 ESCs off of one battery, correct? Okay, so if that's all the case, I think I'm going to go Traxxas Vinylon 4000. If the load is split, I can run 2 ESCs off the same battery. I'm going to go 380 Traxxas Vinylon twin motor, or low KV rocket motor twin propeller, okay, single motor. If I do the Traxxas Vinylon, I can run 2 of these fly colors in here. Boom, boom. All right, boom, boom. All right, and that's going to give me room for battery. I'm designing the front of this boat where it comes to a point past the bulkheads here, where it comes to a point in the middle. I'm designing it so that it'll accommodate a large battery like this. Okay, and I'm bracing it up. All right, so I'll be able to push that battery all the way forward if needed. All right, and yeah, I'm doing a lot of thinking, man. This is, oh, I'm so freaking excited, you guys. You have no freaking idea. It just brings back so many great memories of working with wood that I used to do a lot, man. So yeah. So this is one of the other questions I wanted to ask you guys. Do y'all want to see like every other day uploads on this boat, like progress, like little short clips of my progress as I progress with the hull? Do you guys want me to do like I normally do with my build videos, like do like a whole phase, kind of like Dr. Jet's 120, and then upload it, and then do another phase, you know, and then upload? Or do y'all want to see the whole freaking build video? Oh my god. Shit. The whole freaking build video, start to finish, you know, or 1 or 2 long videos? Or do y'all want to see several, like a shit ton of small short videos, and do like a whole playlist for short videos? So let me know what you guys want to see, how you want me to do the build process and upload. Okay, so the video is freaking long as shit, you guys. I apologize. I freaking apologize. I'm excited about it. I just wanted to update you guys. I hadn't been making any really like awesome videos lately. This is why I've been like wrapped up with this build right here, and I didn't video any of this part of the build. But I'll let you go. We'll see you guys next time. Hopefully you liked the video. Drop comments, anything that interests you, or any answers you have for any of my questions I asked. It's my boat build. I'm going to build the boat how I freaking want. You know, the framing's probably all wrong. Probably used the wrong shit, but I don't care. I'm going to build it ironclad. I don't even care. You know, ironclad, what? That means hodgepodge, right? To several of you guys. You know, ironclad, you think of hack job. So I'm going to hack it, you know. I'm going to make it nice. We'll see you next time. Big B with Ironclad RC.